Here's some tips for being a great competitor in not just jiu-jitsu, but really any sport. Number 1, having an option in every position. You have to be comfortable everywhere that a competition, a match, a fight, whatever can go. You know, in jiu-jitsu, this is the guard, the stand-up, the passing. And in basketball, it would be offense, defense, layups, three-pointers, mid-range. You have to be comfortable everywhere. And for me, one of the best examples of being good in every position would be Gordon Ryan. You know, what better than the best of all time? But, I mean, if you look, Gordon is comfortable from his butt. He's comfortable playing guard. He's comfortable passing. He's comfortable on the back here. He's comfortable enough on the feet to get by. He makes sure that he doesn't have any particular weaknesses. And now we're going to actually see his opponent pulling guard on him. And we're going to see how effective he also is from the top position. You know, he's put in a nice shoulder crunch here, but there's never any panic. He goes right to passing. That's one of the main things about him also, is that he's so calm in every position, and that comes from the confidence of being good pretty much everywhere that the fight can go. Number 2, confidence in the actual moves. You know, I see a lot of people talk about self-confidence and believing in yourself, and while that is always going to be important, one thing I've really keyed into is that to have success in competition, you have to believe in the moves themselves that you're doing. You have to have the confidence that if I do this right, if I do this the way I've been taught, that I do in practice, that I know works, it's going to be successful. So I decided to show highlights from a Russian who won the Rio Olympics at the smallest division in judo. His name is Beslan Mudranov. And what I noticed is, like, every time he makes a good grip, this guy goes, and there's such a conviction with everything that he does. And I really love it. You know, you can tell that he believes in everything that he does. And I mean, any top athlete is going to do that. But all I say is that it's not just a confidence in yourself, but a certainty in the way that you execute your movements. You know, when he makes his grips, he knows he's going to finish. And it's beautiful to watch. And that's one of the other reasons I just wanted to highlight this guy, because he deserves to get a little bit of recognition. Tip number 3 is accepting the nerves. You know, one of my pet peeves is people saying, oh, don't be nervous, or it'll go away with time. Because in my opinion, it never goes away. And in my opinion, it shouldn't ever go away. You know, I think that the anxiety and the nervousness is a way of your body waking up and telling you that you care, telling you that it's time to be serious. And I can't explain it nearly as good as these other 2 athletes will, so I'm going to let them take the floor.
Do you go through a similar process of finding the confidence?
Well, yes, and I use James Lange theory. So what I do is, because I'm not afraid to admit that I'm afraid. the atmosphere in my locker room was pretty bad. It was like going to a funeral. So I was very scared, and before every fight, I ask myself always, shit, what the hell I'm doing here? Why did I choose to come back? Oh my God, and I'm freaking out. However, I'm putting on a mask, like I'm acting.
I find to be very interesting that the butterflies in your stomach are in formation. I've never heard that before. I think it makes a lot of sense. What do you mean by that? Elaborate.
What I mean by it? Okay, so the butterflies in formation, basically it means when you have butterflies and you're feeling anxious and you have anxiety or nervous, that's when you're most powerful, I believe. And either you can, you're most powerful. So a lot of people, instead of homing this power and using it, they allow it to just consume them. You know, there's another quote that says, a big challenge or big pressure is like a fire. It's like a raging fire. Either you can allow this fire to consume you and just take you over completely, or you can gain control of this fire and harness it, and you blow it right at your opponent like Dragon Ball Z style. All right, so that's what I'm trying to do. I try to get my emotions under control and use this adrenaline to my advantage.
Number 4, having a mean streak. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to play dirty or that you have to break the rules. But you have to just be willing to go places a lot of people aren't willing to go. You have to be willing to suffer, and you have to be willing to cause suffering. And one of the most brilliant minds in the game, John Danaher, is going to explain a little bit about my coach, Wagner Roja, who is probably the best in the game at using that mean streak to his advantage.
One more thing about Wagner, everybody knows, or how would you describe Wagner's jiu-jitsu?
Combative. Like he's there to seek victory by whatever it takes, and it's a hard physical game where he'll use every psychological ploy and every physical trick to try and gain advantage over you. That's how you should be. You should be trying these things. He just does it in a more confrontational way than most jiu-jitsu players. But at the end of the day, he's a great character and a good person. But once he gets on the stage, he does what he should do, which is go out there and play to his strengths and make it physical, make it rough, try to get the other guy frustrated, pissed off. Then he'll make a mistake. You notice that when Wagner turns up the heat, I've never seen Wagner turn up the heat on the other guy. The other guy gets frustrated. I've never seen Wagner get frustrated back at him. Like, Wagner's very good at turning up the anger in the other guy, but he never gets angry.
So he's got a big smile.
He's got a smile. Smart guy.
Number 5 is experience. This one, I'm not really going to put any clips or contextualization into this. I think it's kind of obvious, and that's just the more that you do something, the better you're going to be at it. And competing in itself is a skill. It's a skill that's separate from actual sport itself. Whatever sport you play, if you practice but you never compete, you will not have the same edge as someone who competes all the time, because it is a separate skill set that you need to master. And now, the final step is number 6, understanding the rule set. It's not just good enough to be skilled at your sport. You have to know how to play the rules. You have to know how to please the judges, the referees, and you have to be able to take advantage of any minute details. The smartest and the most successful athletes are going to do this. My coach is very good at it, but I actually think it's going to be interesting if I use a different sport than jiu-jitsu. I'm going to use football. Now, here's a great example of someone who understands what's going on. Those players on the other team tried to down that ball, but realizing that they never actually possessed it, he just picked the ball up and ran with it. And a lot of people would let that go, but he realized the opportunity there, and I thought that this was just a great example of being really smart and understanding what was available. These guys thought they made a great play. They downed the ball at the 1-yard line, but they didn't possess it. And a lot of guys would not even want to touch that because of the danger of getting tackled there, but he realized no one was in good position to hit him, and it was perfectly legal to still scoop that ball up. And when he did that, this created the opportunity for an amazing play. This guy took a ball that was going to be down at the 1-yard line, and this became a scoring play instead. Now, let's look at another example. Every player's dream is to score a touchdown, but when you're already ahead in the game and you want to run the clock out, what an intelligent play here. He goes down at the 1-yard line because he realizes they can run this clock out and they can go up by another 3 points anyway and take all that time off the clock. If he were to score too early, he would actually be giving the other team a chance to get the ball back when they never even have to put the ball in their hands again. I hope everybody enjoyed this video. I put a lot of effort into it. I realized it's a long one, so hopefully you stuck around and maybe you learned something and took something good from it. But I appreciate it. If you like this kind of content, let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you, guys.